What's up? This is Dad Dirty Spoon from the IWC, and this is the Wrestling Recap Show for October 7th, 2012. First, I would like to apologize for not being back for a round. I got really sick last week, and I've been recovering. It also means that I have not watched anything since Raw last week as far as wrestling. So most of this week's show is mostly going to be about stuff that I read, and a lot of backstage news and notes. First off, I'd like to say that WWE and TNA have a serious problem because they have both this past week suffered some of the worst ratings they've had in years. TNA has actually had a 2-year low, and Raw's ratings were in nearly 2.5 range. WWE is responding to the poor ratings by having both Vince McMahon and John Cena on the next show. Monday's show did not have Cena while he is recovering from his elbow injury, and it did not have Vince McMahon or any really big name talent outside of their regular wrestlers. Also, SmackDown, their star power was greatly depleted by their new show that they premiered last week, WWE Main Event. TNA has much less of an excuse because they're building to Bound for Glory, which is coming up not this Sunday, but next Sunday, October 14th, 2012. Bound for Glory, TNA's biggest main event of the year. They're having some of the worst ratings they've ever had, and I think that they have a lot more to worry about than WWE right now. What I suspect will happen next week is Vince McMahon will come back. He will be having a state of the WWE address. He'll be addressing the universe. I suspect that this is where AJ will probably be removed as general manager. The plan, if you are not familiar, was always to have Ric Flair be the general manager of Raw. However, TNA and WWE lawsuit has prevented WWE from actually moving forward with those plans. So it's really going to be interesting to see who WWE replaces. They do like the on-air personality, and AJ has been acting even more crazy when she's getting screen time. A couple weeks ago she had like 1 segment, and now that's been bumped up to 3 or 4, and she's been increasingly more unstable the past couple of weeks. Booker T, on the other hand, as far as on-air personalities, is easily manipulated by Eve and has shown a lot of indecision and quick decisions and indecisions. So it's be interesting to see if one or both of the general managers are replaced. I would like to see Booker T as general manager of both Raw and SmackDown, but I really don't think that that would be the best fit. The way that WWE likes it, they like to have the Raw general manager be more of the antagonistic heel, whereas the SmackDown general manager is the ineffective babyface. But I digress. Anyway, it'll be really interesting to see how TNA reacts to their abysmal ratings, especially going into Bound for Glory. I also think that this is a direct result of them switching in midstream, going from having James Storm and Bobby Roode for the championship at Bound for Glory and switching that to Austin Aries and the Jeff Hardy. It's a little bit harder call, because if you do switch that main event from Beer Money to Austin Aries and Jeff Hardy, that means you can still have that Beer Money, I guess the James Storm Robert Roode match that's been built up for a year, but not for the title, and you can have another title match with another 2 big names being Austin Aries and Jeff Hardy. But from what they've been doing for the last couple of weeks, making Austin Aries be more of the whiny heel character, I do not agree with. Austin Aries got very much over by being kind of like the underdog and just working hard and great mic work. And now that this seemingly sudden change of attitude being, I want everything you have because you're a Hall of Famer and I'm not, I think that that's just not necessarily in Austin Aries believed up until that point to be the greatest man. So I don't necessarily see how he would just suddenly want to be Jeff Hardy. And that is the reason why I'm not really buying his heel turn as much as CM Punk's heel turn, which is going phenomenally well. I did not think that it would be going to be as successful as it has ended up being. which is really disappointing that WWE still can't hold people's attention. And I think that hopefully on Monday, Vince McMahon will put Raw back to being 2 hours. Do I think it's going to happen? No. Vince McMahon has not shown that he is particularly good at admitting defeat. But I digress. Another very interesting and a very, I guess a big news story would be the departure of Kelly Kelly from WWE. This marks the third marquee diva to, technically it'd be the fourth actually, because I don't even know what I'm thinking, because that means that Kelly Kelly has left this year. The Bella Twins and Karma all left the Divas locker room this year, and that's not counting the fact that the reports are saying that Beth Phoenix is also on her way out at the end of October. That's a lot of talent to lose in a short period of time. According to what I researched online, there's not a lot of divas coming up through developmental to fill those slots. And that also means that Natalya is probably going to be the most accomplished pure wrestling diva, whereas Eve also has the most in-ring experience, and then the rest are a group of former models and rejects from Tough Enough who were not necessarily brought up to be wrestling first divas. So it's going to be very interesting to see how WWE moves forward with their Divas division. I do not see them deleting the Divas division. They've ignored it for quite a bit of time, and now they're just suffering the consequences of ignoring it. Hopefully some new divas, Velvet Sky, Angelina Love, who are available out there, who are also very experienced, very accomplished in the ring, will join WWE, and we will see a resurgence of the Divas division, much like we're seeing with the Tag Team division. And that's pretty much all the big stuff that I've got. I would definitely like to give a big congratulations to Dave Bautista for being successful in his very first MMA fight last night. Good job. And hopefully you're getting a phone call from WWE and rejoining the wrestling community, because they are thoroughly lacking in star power. That is another video for another time. I would like to make that I'm feeling much better, and I will be doing a Bound for Glory prediction show probably Tuesday or Wednesday night. I'm going to have to watch last TNA. I do know that Bully Ray and Sting will be facing the Aces and Eights guys, and that leads me into pretty much tells me that yeah, Tuesday. And that's pretty much all I have for this show. Again, I will see you again this week and next weekend. And I'm not sure if I'm going to do a post show to Bound for Glory. It depends on how bad it is. If it's really good or really bad, I'll definitely do one. If it's an average show, I might do it anyway. It depends. Anyway, this has been Nat Dirty Spoons from the IWC. I'm signing off.